What is going on, lunatic friends? Don't forget to hit that like button on your way in. Let's talk about, I'm going to give you a price prediction for Terra Luna Classic for the year 2025. Now, it is my opinion that the top of this market is probably going to be November. However, using a very broad stroke and remembering what we experienced in this past December, we didn't really get the explosive sort of move. And we weren't expecting to get it, by the way, but we didn't get it. So I think we can say also the top of the bull market won't be November of 2025, which puts it at November. There's a possibility that, summer months or something like that, October, November, one of those two is going to be it. Now, the odds are November, so let's remember that we're focusing on November as the top of this cycle. And by the way, that does not mean, to preface this so that people come back here and look at me like I'm nuts, Bitcoin is possible to decouple from the broader crypto market in 2025 and just become a NASDAQ asset or a Dow Jones type asset and move in conjunction with those markets while the rest of cryptocurrency does it a 4-year cycle based on Bitcoin, but Bitcoin would not dip. And I hope that makes perfect sense to you. But let's talk about what the price action is going to do this year. In my estimation, I'm going to break this down very simply, and we're going to take a fresh look at a chart. We're going to figure out, using Fibonacci, using a couple different tools and tricks, exactly where we can expect to go. Now, previously, I gave you an estimate of 2.7 cents. However, we have not burned anywhere near the amount that it would take to get to 2.7 cents. So one of the constant variables to this entire process has been the burn process. So I'm going to take you through that as well. Make sure again that you hit the like button on the way in. Give me a like if you like the type of content, and leave a comment down below letting me know what is your price prediction for 2025 for Terra Luna Classic. All right, with the preambles out of the way, let's get into it. Number one, Cookie continues to soar, up another 64% after being up over 100% in the last 24 hours. So we're starting to see a little bit of a breakout. Now remember, $5 was what I had in Cookie, is now $25. So we're up 5x on our Cookie. So that's a pretty good sign right there. But the rest of the cryptos have dipped quite a bit. So I'll be watching for liquidity being pulled out of the market because it's the holidays. I got a feeling that there's going to be a lot of money injected into this market very, very soon. So I feel good about my positions all across. Now, if you're not just trading Luna Classic, if you are trading Luna Classic and you want to trade futures like a pro over here at Weex, Weex.com. Now, you can see over here, I use just very minor amounts of money on Weex. The place that I actually do it is another place, which we'll get into at a later point. But as you can see right here, I'm up 20% on an ETH long here and 65% on an XRP long. If you want to get in and start trading as well, we're going to be doing a lot of trading content. So sign up at Weex down below. I'll try to give you some buy signals where you could set up maybe a long or something like that as we get into this market and we really start to send and we really start to soar. If you want to make that life-changing return, possibility exists that could happen. So sign up at Weex today. If you're into risk-based gaming, Terra Casino is your place. They have everything that you could possibly need, including giving away $11,000 in a daily cash drop with pragmatic play up until January 5th. So you got a couple more days to do that. Today is the 1st. It is a holiday. So this has been a fantastic Terra Casino for all of your risk-based gaming. And if you're wanting to trade those meme coins that we were just talking about, the place that you do that is Terraport.finance. So you want to buy yourself some cookie, then that's the place to go. That's the place to do it. Juris Protocol, Santa Claus, Frag, B-Lung, Terra, Pizza Boy, whatever it is that you're looking to trade, you can get it over here at Terraport.finance. Now let's talk price action and let's see what it looks like. Oh, by the way, that big line right there, 1.7 billion was the burn from Binance, which was more than it's been for a long period of time. And I told you guys that we should expect to see a little bit of a lift in it because we've been seeing a lot more activity on the chain. Ultimately, BTCC having a nice little run of it. And I think that probably contributed to a lot of this extra burn that was happening over here. But Binance stepped in with their 0.1% of fees, and it was 1.7 billion Luna Classic. So is that enough? That becomes the question, and that's why we're bringing this up first. 286 million in the last 7 days without that burn. So it's going to go up over 2 billion for the last 7 days when this rolls over tomorrow. Is that enough? I don't think so. Let's talk price action. Okay, guys, this is a blank chart of the Terra Luna Classic price with a low of 4 zeros, 35.20, which was the dump that we originally had, all the way up to 3 zeros, 59.250, which for some people was just an absolutely life-changing hustle. What we're going to do is we're going to take the low to high, and we're going to use these two numbers right. First of all, we're going to use this dip down here, because that was happening in the bear market. We don't have bull market data that's reliable that we can use. The best that we have is these two right here. Now, what do these mean? Well, generally speaking, the golden ratio, which is what we're looking for in Fibonacci, that is the number that a project would be quote unquote guaranteed to hit, provided it has a lot of momentum. It's a naturally occurring thing, 161.8% in nature. Now, that's not going to be that high, but we're going to break this down on a fib chart. I'm going to show you what the top end of the projection looks like, what the bottom end of the projection looks like, and where we could end up. So first of all, let's recognize that we're about 5.5x away from the top of this chart previously. And what I mean by that is we're about 5x away from that move right there up at the top. So let's zoom in on this and let's get a better idea of what we're going to do. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to draw the fib tool. We're going to use this top, and we're going to use this top over here, and we're going to move this out here to encompass 2025. Okay, now that is done. So let's break down what the top of this range looks like from a Fibonacci standpoint. So, and by the way, previously I gave you 2.7 cents. We're not even coming close to that. It's going to take a miracle to get to that level right now. So we're going to be a little bit more realistic right now, just based on the situation that we find ourselves in right. So first, what we're looking for ultimately is there's a specific sort of run that we're kind of looking for here. And by the way, we're going to do two of these, and I'm going to show you a second one as well. So this one is the impulse move from the bottom to the top. And then what happened is it broke down. Now we don't like, here's the problem. The problem is this range right here, if you want to call it a problem. This is not a great sort of range, but the inspiring piece to that range is we spent a lot of time coming down, but we stopped coming down. You can see right here that we've kind of rounded into this. Now, this I'm giving a lot of liberty from here over to here. I'm giving a lot of liberty saying that I think the market has reversed. And the reason that I'm giving you that kind of clarity when I say that is because we're in the bullish phase by all rights. If you're looking at historic crypto data, then it tells us that we are at the dawn of the real bull run. Doesn't mean that we won't have a dump, but before we have another dump, we most likely should have another pump. Now, that would mean that potentially we could come back down here and add that 0 one more time and then break out from there. But the more likely scenario is that we've kind of reached the bottom, or if we do, it's going to be 3 zeros 1. Now, there is catastrophic sort of stuff that can happen, but generally speaking, we've seen a trend reversal. Now, a trend reversal is a pretty good sign, so let's talk about where the numbers go. Well, Fibonacci tells me on this impulse move right here that happened way back when, that in a really, really bullish sort of scenario, these are our targets, and the number one target is going to be right here. Now, to give you clarity here, that is 15x from where we are. Are you going to have your life changed with a 15x run? It would be my opinion. No, you would not. So this is a more muted approach because of the burn level that we're experiencing right now. And this could all change, but for right now, the number is 20149. Now, Fibonacci levels are pretty constant in crypto, and they continue to get hit in bull runs. So we should consider that a 15x Fibonacci move is most likely going to happen. So let's look at some more data and see what that means. Okay, so we're trading at 1090 right now, 1088, whatever the number is, a 15x move from here. Now, we're looking at this from a pure numeric standpoint, and this is where your brain should start working, okay? Not that it doesn't work any. 600 million market cap. Now, if we took 600 million and we multiplied that by 15, we're talking about a $9 billion market cap. Now, let's go look at some other data. And the question we're going to ask ourselves right now is this possible? Could we have a 15x? So again, 15x would put us at about 9 billion. That would make us a top 20 crypto as of today. Is that possible? I don't think the answer to that is yes. Okay, we have to be honest with ourselves in this estimate here. So I don't think that that's possible, but hear me out. We're not going to be at this spot in the bull market. Everything is going to go up 3 to 5x. So what we're looking for is something more along the lines of something with about a 3 billion market cap, a 2 billion market cap. And as you come down here, then what you find is 2 billion market cap, and we're just going to use that, is around top 60. Now the question is Luna Classic a top 60 crypto? And the answer to that, I think, is yes. I think that it really is. So what I would say for this moment right now is that for sure we can have a run up to $9 billion in this market and would be a top 60, maybe even top 70. Depends on how aggressive this market gets. But let's go back because now we've got at least a working and functioning number here. So the number that we have is 2 zeros, 14.9. So let's call it 2 zeros, 15. 2 zeros, 15 seems to be the newest target for the golden ratio. That's 161.8%. But if we get just a really, really good run going, then you could talk all the way up here to 261.8, which is also a possibility, 361.8, which is also a concern, and then 423.6%, which takes us to 203, let's call it. Now, 203 is twice where we are, so that would turn it into a 30x from our current position. A 30x from our current position, 203, is basically right there. So you got to be asking yourself, is that enough? Well, 30x from where we are, that's the question to answer. Is that enough? Now, the answer to this, by the way, 18 billion market cap. Again, we come back over here and we look at the numbers, 18 billion market cap, that puts us in the top 10. Can we get into the top 10 or put it just outside of the top 10? Could we get there? Look, guys, there's no way. That's not possible. It's not even logical at this point that something like that would happen at our current level. So, but again, let's talk about what are we looking for, 3 to 5x, and let's be kind of aggressive, kind of meet halfway, say about 4x, right? So we're taking that, so that means about 5. And just humor me here. That means top 30 crypto. Is Luna Classic, or could Luna Classic be a top 30 crypto? Yes, would be the answer. Is it likely? No. Is it possible? 2024 was a massive year for Cryptonomy.finance, and 2025 expects to be even bigger. Folks, we're getting into the bull run right now, and to celebrate, Cryptonomy is having a New Year giveaway with a chance to start 2025 with something quite extraordinary. The prizes up for grabs at Cryptonomy are a Range Rover autobiography. 3 winners will receive 1 Bitcoin each. There'll be 30 iPhone 16 Pro Max winners and 100 winners of $100 in Pepe. And how you participate is this: open and hold active margin positions on Cryptonomy's trading platform, invest in the Launchpool during the eligibility period, and entries will close on January 11 at 11:59 p.m. UTC. The winners will be announced on January 12. So what does that look like? All right, I ain't no fool. So we're going 20,000 into the Launchpool contract. Now I'm going to use the bronze level. We've created the contract, so we are locked in. Also, the second thing that we had to do was set up a margin trading position. My position right now on my Bitcoin long is 148.5%. On Ethereum, 123.76. We're getting into the bull run right now. We're going to open up a long with 50 Solana. We're going to take that position right now. 148% is the expected profit. We're going to use a 10x leverage position, and we've confirmed. And now we have another position open, 50 Solana this time. Let's see how this goes. I think these are going to be incredible returns. Join me on this journey. Now look, we already know a lot about Cryptonomy and its strengths, and I'm excited to highlight them again. As someone who's worked with the company for a long time, I'm confident to say that 2025 is set to be a breakthrough year. With major updates and collaborations on the horizon, Cryptonomy is ready to soar to new heights. You can earn great passive returns on staking and other programs. You can gain exclusive bonuses, including Cryptonomy token airdrops at their launches in early 2025, and enjoy countless other perks that come with being part of this growing ecosystem. Now is the perfect time to get involved. Don't miss your chance to benefit from everything Cryptonomy has to offer and kickstart your journey with a winning opportunity. Very much so. There are a lot of things out here that do a lot of stuff in cryptocurrency, but blockchains tend to be the top performing assets. Bitcoin, blockchain. Ethereum, a blockchain. XRP, a blockchain. BNB, a blockchain, a layer 2 blockchain, but a blockchain. Solana, blockchain. Dogecoin, meme coin, but also it has a blockchain. Cardano, Tron, Avalanche, blockchain. So could it be in the top 30? Yes. And people, especially the United States, we love a comeback story. So for Luna Classic to have a comeback story would be incredible for the market overall. So let's just say that the possibility certainly exists for an easy 15x or an almost guaranteed 15x from this point. 30x would be that next move. Now, we're going to remove all of this data and we're going to try one more time. Okay, so now we're going to start over one more time. And what we're going to do is we're going to reverse that trend line. And we're going to take from here to here, the fib. We're going to turn it into this reversal here, all right? So the reversal of this gives us this breakout right here. And what we saw right here was this move right down into this zone range, if you will. So we're going to hit the bottom of that. And you're going to find there's not too much variance from where we are. And I think really what I'm telling you when I do this is we're definitely going to a certain level, okay? Now, because this level was not as aggressive, then you will notice that we've already done a few of the things that we would anticipate having been done. So we had a big move, then we had off of this big move, this downward trend right here. We've established a new fib sequence here. We're moving it up here. And it's kind of broken out towards the top of the range for a breakout. And if it breaks out, then we're talking about a move to 3092 for the golden ratio. So that move right there is in play. Now, let's be real. That's only about an 8 or a 9x from where we are right now. Nobody's looking for 8 or 9x in this bull market, but that is the number that we're looking at with a high at 2 zeros, 23,467. That's going to be about a 22x from where we are, maybe a 23. But those are not the numbers that anybody is looking for. So now the question is, what the fuck? Like, what's going on? Why are we not getting up to that? We talk about $1 all the time. We talk about a penny all the time. We talk about all these different levels. And let me break that down for you. We talk about those levels because our minds work on the basis of $1. So a lot of us, a lot of you, were holding at least 1 million Luna Classic for the crazy situation in which a repeg happens, a lot of burns happen, and we find a way to get Luna Classic back to $1. Now, in order to get to $1 right now, that requires about $6 trillion in this market. Bitcoin, for its purpose, is trading at about $2 trillion overall. Terra Luna Classic, as of today, 600 million. So we would need about 1,000x to get to the range that and there's this the capital exists, but it's not going into Terra Luna Classic. So we have to now temper our expectations as to, what it is that we need to do. And I'm sorry, it was actually 100x, but again, 100x times 600 million is just almost an insurmountable number, guys. It's a long. Now, let's say that we have an opportunity to get to 60 billion. That takes us to a penny. All right. What would it take in order to make that happen? Well, we're a decentralized system with no leadership. It's going to take leader to. It would take. There are a couple of different things that I think, my opinion, that we need to have steering committee, stuff like that, in order to navigate and get to where we want to be. So 600 million. We're going to need a huge market cap in order to get to $1. Okay, that is again 1,000x away. That's 6 trillion market cap. Is that doable? The answer to that is a resounding no chance. So that begs the question, well, what do we do then? How do we get there? And the answer to that is actually real simple. We have to burn a lot of tokens. So let me just break this down for you and simplify it so that we can all understand. Current circulating supply is 5.5 trillion. In order for us, and by the way, this would fix a lot. Real quick, just like that. If we were to reduce the circulating supply from 5.5 trillion down to half of that, let's call it 3 trillion, then the price of Terra Luna Classic would effectively double, because you would still be taking the overall market cap, which sits right at 600 million, and you would just be dividing it by fewer tokens, which is why burns are important, because it adds to the price of the tokens that you hold independently. So, but if we just reduce the supply by half right now, just whatever incredible weird burn that we came up with, it happened, right? Well, now all of your tokens would be worth 302. Now, again, if we apply the same logic that we were using before with a burn of 50%, and we came back over here and we did our standard fib retracement, top to bottom over here, then you're talking about 2 zeros 15 becomes 2 zeros 3. And at that ultimate ratio of 423.6, 2 zeros 3 becomes 2 zeros 6. And I hope that you notice how much closer that would really get us to that penny. But it would require a huge reduction in the supply of coins that are available in the ecosystem. So the prediction that I'm going to give you right now is not the one that I want to give you, okay? But it is the one that's out there. And without burn, and I do want to use this as an opportunity to stress to you how important burns really are for our community. And before I say that, don't forget that the Classic Chaos podcast just told us burns don't work. Well, their take, in my opinion, is a silly one. Not because, and by the way, they didn't do the research. They just read the research. And each circumstance in relation to burns is a little bit different. And what they didn't clarify for you, or I don't think they did a fair enough job in clarifying for you, was this. Number one, burns in and of themselves were a novelty item that came about in the last bull run cycle. The experience of the burns are really only based upon, in my opinion, because there were just manual burns, but there were automated burns and stuff like that. Those burns are based on an analysis of 4 years of a bear market. And that's just silly, because that's not going to apply to the bull run. So there's a possibility that their data is not corrupted, but just doesn't apply to us. So Classic Chaos, I appreciate your analysis, but I don't think that it is correct. I think that there's a lot more to it, a few more. However, at the end of the day, here's what we should recognize. No matter what, we have a very minimal burn, and we're not really doing very much to burn any tokens. So just realize, again, my prediction here is going to be 2 zeros 15 to 2 zeros 3. That is a reduction of probably 10x from where I gave you before, meaning that I am pulling back from the cliff of saying 3 cents, and I'm saying more like 0.3 of 1 cent. And look, you can look around at the development of Luna Classic and you can be appalled, you can be excited, you have whatever opinion you want. But the fact remains, there's only so much money in this market. Our ability to get some of that money is predicated on a lot of different things. One of them was how much of the supply we could burn, and we have effectively not burned nearly enough. So this is going to be a much bigger struggle than we originally thought. So it would be my estimation that we should go back to and start to listen, to really listen to what Leonardo has to say about the ceramic plan. It seems to be dying on the vine, if you will. And by the way, that could just be the holidays talking. We could be looking at a massive move getting ready to happen or getting ready to come, and a lot of voting to be done. But we're going into the bull run. We're going into the bull run. And the developers who probably should be coming up with a way to do something like this, to put it up for a vote at least, to have real discussions about the solution that doesn't end in this. Oh well, which is what happened so far. We need real solutions from real people to make something real and tangible happen. So if you have any plans for a burn, if you have any ideas for a burn, now is the time to really, really buckle down, because if we do not, we're about to miss the bull run. That's the reality of Luna Classic right now. We could miss the bull run. And by that, I don't mean we're not going to have a 15 to 30x. We will have a 15 to 30x. That's going to happen. But that life-changing 100 to 150x that was potentially here, that you could just feel was almost ready to happen, all of that's not going to happen. Now, the good thing is, if you have diversified and some of your Luna Classic has gone into some of these other meme coins, those meme coins are going to 100, 200, and 300x. They're going to have magnificent runs. Juris Protocol, probably going to be 100x from here at least. That's the money part of the Luna Classic ecosystem. There are a lot of different protocols that are in this ecosystem that will probably have way more of a significant run than Terra Luna Classic does at this point. So I feel good and comfortable with my position. You guys, if you don't feel comfortable about your position, may I just recommend to you, take $25 of your Luna Classic, or $50 or $100, buy yourself some meme coins. Go look around, look at these meme coins, look at these utility coins that are part of the Luna Classic ecosystem. Buy up a little bit, because those are the ones that I think at this point are going to be the gems that run this system. So let me know what you think in the comments down below. I know I got a little bit wordy here, and I know I gave you kind of two weird sort of predictions here, but I'm just trying to be as honest with you as I can at this point right now. And think about this, guys. Just let me put this. If I was Levi Rightfeld, the whatever, the guy that took all your money trying to burn tokens that he never burned. If I was that guy, I would be telling you that Luna Classic is going to $122 right now. Let that sink in. It's not financial advice, but I'm always right.